All right, so welcome to this month's AC478 Roundtable. I'm going to just introduce a few people that are here on the call right now. So I am Sasha Demian, the Executive Director of the MBCEA, and we have Dan Halmy with us. He is the chair of our accreditation committee. And his company, Halmy Builders, has been AC478 accredited for over 7 years now. Jackie Maluda is with us, and she assists in program management for MBCEA, and she's the one that will meet with you as you prepare to apply for accreditation. We've got a few other players. Robert is on. He is the president of the MBCEA, and several of our accreditation committee members are also on. So you'll have the opportunity to speak with other members who already went through the process. But we are going to now share in introducing the AC478 program to you. So a majority of all metal building systems are supplied by manufacturers who are members of the MBMA. The MBMA mandates that member companies achieve and maintain AC472. That's an accreditation with an established criteria toward which each firm demonstrates that they have the personnel, organization, experience, knowledge, quality procedures, and commitment to fabricate in accordance with specified procedures.
Till the introduction of AC 478, there was no similar program that established a criteria for assemblers. MBCEA members were looking for a way to differentiate themselves from the bad actors that are poorly trained, unsafe, but all too often the lowest bid. We recognized that when structures fail or people get hurt during assembly, the entire industry suffers. This accreditation establishes an industry standard to identify those players doing the right thing, that are committed to safety, training, and quality. For the first time in history, manufacturers and erectors now have complementary accreditation programs for metal building projects that will help assure the highest quality metal building commercial buildings.
AC 478 assures owners that that the erector have chosen follows comprehensive, quality-driven metal building assembly program that's assessed annually. To achieve AC 478 accreditation, companies must maintain the following: documented safety program and training program, documented management system, on-site job site assessments, job site specific plans, annual internal audits and management reviews to ensure continuous improvement.
The program brings much needed rigor and discipline to a somewhat chaotic industry. But with all things new, there is some apprehension, and that is why we host these sessions and have put together a robust support system in the members-only area and consultative support with Jackie. You don't need to be a member of the MBCEA to apply for accreditation, but only members get our support.
So we're going to go around the room here, and try to figure out who's here. If you could, when I call on you, if you could give us your company name, what role or position you provide for them, where you're from, like the geographical area, and what type of company you are. If you're an erector or contractor, whether you self-perform or not, and then just kind of why you're registered or why you're here. So with that, try to catch everybody here. But Joe Servino.
Yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, if you could introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Sure. I am Joe Saravino. I'm Vice President of Pre-Construction. The company is Commercial Metal Building Services Corp. We're based in Southeast Florida. We are an erector and we self-perform.
Okay, good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
And you are accredited, right?
And accredited. That's correct. And accredited.
You are accredited. Okay. Brendan Morrow.
How's it going? My name is Brendan Morrow. I'm with Tamora Building Systems. I'm our Butler, pre-engineered project manager, estimator. We do a bunch of ground up construction, GC work, pre-engineered work. We don't self-perform the erection, but I've been in a couple of these meetings and we're ready to just get going on this because I keep waiting too long.
Gotcha. Well, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we can help you get things moving.
Yep.
David Cyros.
Hi, Sirwa. Yeah, I'm with Enbridge. Actually, I'm on the owner's side, and we have a lot of metal buildings in our inventory, and I'm the subject matter expert responsible for all the buildings in our portfolio. So I'm just here to learn a little bit more about accreditation and kind of check out what the hot topics are, and yeah.
Well, welcome, David. How about Chad Spritzer?
Hi, Chad Spreitzer. I'm the operations manager for Lefevre Building Systems. We're based out of Denver, Colorado. We are a management company only, and we are getting ready. As soon as this is done, I will be applying for our accreditation and our audit today.
Great. Good to hear it. Thanks, Chad. Thanks for
Thank
joining us too. Nick Spencer.
Yeah, I'm also with Lefevre, and I'm sitting here with Cassie Reddick. We both do pre-construction and procurement here at Lefevre. So, yeah, we've been just kind of hearing the buzz about the accreditation going around the office. So, joining in on the meeting.
Oh, great. Thanks for joining us, Nick.
Yeah.
Gestalt user.
So I don't know why my name says Gestalt user. It's Geneva Talbot. I'm with Lefevre Building Systems as well, out of Denver, project coordinator. And yeah, I'm here with the rest of the team to learn more and get our application in.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us. Yeah, that's sometimes the user. I just got to go off what it says on the screen. So
Yeah,
sorry
that's
about
all
that.
good.
How about Dave Palmer?
Yeah, Dave Palmer, Span Construction and Engineering. My title is Executive Vice President. Span is, we do a lot of design build. We self-perform. We act as a GC at times, but yeah, we've been dipping our toe in the AC478 thoughts, and just want to get a little bit more information around it to see if we want to move forward with that.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you can answer any questions you have with this meeting, but we'll have some Q&A too. So feel free to pitch in if you have some concerns or thoughts towards the end here. But how about Wheaton, Fumba?
Yeah, my name is Wheaton Fumba Karama. I actually go by Fumba. I am the steel erection manager over at Radius Builds, which is the self-performing arm of Bobbitt Construction here in Raleigh, North Carolina. We actually just submitted our final assessment to David last week, so he should be sending it over to you guys for approval this week.
Oh, great. So, Carrie Geese.
Hi, I'm Carrie Geis. I am standing in for Jared Turner, the CEO of TBT Construction. We're located in Northeast Ohio. We sell and self-perform the construction of Butler buildings, and we're continuing our accreditation. And I just started with the company last week, so I'm here to learn about the program and make sure that we are keeping up with the admin side of the application and the record keeping process.
Well, great, Carrie. I know Jared well, so you'll do well there, and good to have you here.
Thanks.
So we've got a couple of accreditation committee members that are also with us. I'll introduce you guys, and you can pitch in if you have anything to say. But David Thay is here, Sarah Tooth, Joseph Allen, Art Hance. If any of you guys want to have anything to say, go ahead. Otherwise, we can keep moving.
Doing great. Don't want to slow you down over there.
No, well, if you got something to say, go ahead. But so we do have a guest speaker today. want to introduce Greg West. Greg West is with IAS. As you all know, IAS is the accreditation body with this program. And Greg West has got some stuff for us today, so he can help us get you guys the information you need. So, Greg?
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Yeah, my name is Greg West. I'm going to try and share my screen here. Get this thing going. And I do have a PowerPoint for you. So just to let you know, I am based out of Brea, California. I'm a senior vice president with IAS, and I work with about 20 different accreditation programs. So I primarily were marketing promotions, but I've been working with this program for quite a while. I'm not actually an assessor for the program, but we do have other people. If you have technical questions that are beyond me on this program, we can certainly have one of your people like Dan or an accredited customer, or I can connect you with one of our assessors for that. But I'm going to be going through the program a little bit with you. And I wanted to begin by just sharing the names of some of these people for those of you who are new. This is not all of the people that work on this program, but just a few of them. Of course, myself, I'm the first one.
Greg,
Yes.
I'm sorry, you're not actually sharing your PowerPoint yet.
Oh my gosh, really?
So
Okay, hold on.
I didn't want you to get too farther along.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Let me get out of this 1 second and try going back in. Let's see. Okay, there's the share button. Try this again. Okay, so I'm sharing now, right? I think so. And we'll do this one right.
Yeah, you're sharing.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, so anyway, here is the first slide. Just putting this up more or less so in case you recognize a few of the names. You've already heard someone else mention David Musselwhite. He's the program manager. He's an engineer in several states, and he does assessments and does other things as well. We have other people that do assessments too, but I didn't want to put everybody's name on here. I just wanted to put the people that if you get in the bind and you need something, you can give one of us a call or shoot us an email. We've also got Laura Urain on the bottom left there. She works with me, and again, she's kind of an all-around go-to person for anything. We have Jamie Lee in the middle. She's on the accounting side. She sends out invoices, things having to do with money and whatnot. If you have questions for her. And then we have Priya, which I don't know if you can see her full name there or not, but yeah, Priya is on our administration side. She helps with a variety of things. You know, you may see an email from her asking for some paperwork or something or another. Like I say, we do have other people that may be contacting you, but I wanted to at least give you our names and email addresses so that way you would have them in case you need something. All right, well, let me move this over to the other side. Okay, there we go. So a little bit about IAS. IAS is an accreditation body. We've been doing business since 1975. We are actually owned by ICC, which is the International Code Council. If you haven't heard of them, they're the organization that publishes the International Building Code, which is the building code that's used really in every state, every city in the country. You may have, you know, if you're in California, they may call it the California Building Code, or in New York City, the New York City Building Code. But if you look on the inside cover of all those building codes, you're going to find the ICC, the International Code Council. And I won't go into more details about them, but there's their website address. And we are actually owned by ICC. So every building department in the nation belongs to ICC. They're a member of the organization. So, you know, if you run into a building official sometime that maybe is not aware of IS for some strange reason, you let them know, well, they're a member of ICC and are actually owned by ICC, and they can contact us if we have any questions. Yeah. This slide here shows example of some of the regulatory bodies that recognize various accreditation programs. I think I mentioned a minute ago that IAS actually has 20 different accreditation programs in a lot of different industries. And so these are just a few of the regulatory bodies that recognize one program or another from IAS. Like, this is definitely not comprehensive. Well, so I want to talk a little bit about the application and accreditation process. The first step for us, once you got everything ready to go, and we'll talk about that a little bit too, it begins with getting a quote. And you can certainly go to our website, and if you can't find it, we'll help you find it, but there's a button on there to get a quote. And then you'll select the program that you're wanting. And from there, you'll request a quote. You'll fill out some basic information about your company, which program it is, let us know how many employees that you have out in the field doing the erecting work. And based on that information, when you send that in to us, it'll be submitted through our portal. We will send you back a quote. And the quote price will be based on the number of employees that you have working in the field, putting up buildings. The prices are going to range from $3,100 for people who have employees out there doing work for 1 to 15 employees. And then there's $3,800 for 16 to 31 employees. And from 32 employees or up, it's $4,500. That's an annual fee. It's a flat rate. And but that gives you an idea what the cost is for the accreditation. Once you get our quote back, we will send you a formal quote back. If you approve it, you want to go forward with it, then we'll have you submit an application, which is also in the portal. Submit your payment, and if you have your quality documents and stuff ready, you can upload those to the portal at that time. But if you don't, you can submit them afterwards once they are ready. By the way, Dan, feel free to jump in if you have any questions or comments, or anyone else on this too. Once we've got all your documents in, we will work with you to schedule assessment. And that's where we're going to, our people will review the documents that you've given us. And then we'll also do an on-site assessment too. Now, to do the on-site assessment, you've got to have a building going up somewhere, so that's an important thing before we can schedule an on-site assessment. But we may end up doing a virtual assessment of your documents first, just to get the ball rolling. So that's where we'd schedule a Zoom call with you, take a few hours to go over what you've turned in and let you know. At the end of every assessment, we will issue a report to you. And it's basically just saying, okay, if we had any findings or anything that need to be corrected, we'll let you know what those things are. There won't be no surprises there. And I've got a few other things I want to go over later in the process, but we expect everybody to have some findings. Not that we're going to look so hard until we can't find anything, but it's kind of normal to have a few findings that you need to go back and maybe make corrections on. Once you've resolved those findings, we will issue an accreditation certificate to you, and we will put that up on our website so that anyone doing a search for accredited companies can find that. You can also put that on your website too, or put a link to it if you'd like. And there is an annual renewal. This is, accreditation is not just a one-time thing. Otherwise, somebody that was accredited 20 years ago and changed everything up, nobody would really know. So accreditation is an annual thing. And then we've also got a number of really helpful videos, which we could send to you as well. There's a link on the bottom of our homepage that I said, I think it says how-to videos. And there's videos on how to get a quote, the application process, and some other things like that. The videos, for the most part, are really short, because like getting a quote, it actually shows you where in the website you can go to what to click on and so on and so on. But sometimes it helps when you can watch a video like that first to kind of know what you're doing. Now, I also want to share with you some of the things that we do to promote this program. And I'm going to come back to the process a little bit here in a minute. But we go to a number of different events throughout the year. And some of these are primarily to promote the 478 and 472 program. Others of them, we promote a variety of different programs, but the 478 program is in the mix. You can see we go to a number of ICC chapter meetings. Those, just like you guys have chapters, ICC has chapters. I think they've got over 350 chapters. Their members meet every month, and the majority of people that go to those meetings are building officials, building inspectors, but industry also goes to those meetings. I won't run through every one of these because I want to take up all your time. But we also do go to the AIA annual meeting, and we usually have somebody there from the MBCEA in our booth with us, and also somebody usually from the MBMA also goes to it. But we're talking to architects there about, those that specify metal buildings. We want to make sure they know that they can use the accreditation to help them select a qualified company. So again, it shows a number of different organizations that we go to, different chapters. Of course, we're always at the MBMA and MBCA annual meeting as well. This is just a couple of pictures here. These are ICC, I think, annual conferences. On the left there, that's Raj Nathan. He's actually the president of IS. And next to him is Sam Palmer. Sam's on the ICC board of directors. He used to be the chairman of the IS board of directors. And the middle slide there shows where we've got a booth advertising and stuff going on at the ICC annual conference registration area. That's Dan Halmy. He was attending that. And then just another banner that we put out at those meetings. IS is also pretty active on social media. You can see where we're at there, number of followers. We put out several posts a week. We put up accredited customers. Somebody just got an accreditation. We'll say, congratulations, XYZ company for getting accredited under this program. If you get accredited, or I should say, when you get accredited, if you don't see your company coming up there, let us know, because we've got a lot of customers, a lot of different programs. We really can't put everybody up there. But if we hear from somebody that says, hey, we want to, we just got accredited, we want to be up there, then we'll definitely put that announcement up for you. We also advertise trainings and other events we're at, things like that too. Oh, and you can find the links on our homepage of our website too. And there's some examples there. We also do promotions for the various accreditation programs, and give a link back to our website where people can find out more about it. We also have a page on our website for architects. Again, I mentioned earlier, we go to the AIA annual conference. We do put on webinars for the AIA chapters as well. I think I've got a slide on that in a minute. We also have a web page where we talk about the program and why architects should use this program to hire companies. And we have specification language that they can, companies can use that. They can make sure they specify an accredited company as well. And of course, you see the MBCEA logo and MBA logo too. We got links there as well. We also, I think I mentioned already, we have a PowerPoint presentation, which we've been giving to AIA chapters. They're primarily virtual. If you have an AIA chapter that you'd like us to reach out to, or maybe somebody in that chapter, let us know. We'd be happy to give that presentation if they'll let us do it for them. Our PowerPoint is approved by the AIA for their learning units, which they have to have in order to maintain their membership. We've also got a version of it, the presentation, that is available for accredited MBCEA members. So who knows, you may run into a group or belong to a group that you want to share the presentation to as well. We do some advertising as well in various publications, magazines along the way, things like that. This is an example of a couple of different ads that were put in the AIA New York. I can't remember their magazine or their newsletter. That's the one on the right, I think. And then we also have an ad that went in the MBMA's guidebook there as well. We also have a number of flyers and brochures that are targeting different audiences. I think actually all three of these are for the building department. So you can see we do promote the programs to the building departments around the nation. And we also have, I think, a flyer for architects. And we, of course, we have several flyers for the erectors and assemblers like yourselves as well. And we'd be happy to email you a copy of these flyers too. You know, if you'd like to give it to someone, maybe a building department locally that hadn't heard about the program. All right, so some tips for getting started. So number one is get started. That's really simple, but you know, I think a lot of times for something like this, it's easy to procrastinate because you think, oh my gosh, you know, this is a huge project. What am I going to do? And the first thing, just get started with it. You know, you don't have to have everything perfect to start the process. And also our accreditation process, you know, we don't issue a grade on this thing. It's not a public thing. You know, we don't come out and say, oh, well, XYZ company passed or got accredited, but they got a D plus on their accreditation. You know, it's not like that. You either pass or you fail. And something else too, we don't talk to people about your accreditation. It's a confidential process. In fact, you know, we don't put it out there that this company applied for accreditation even. It's a confidential process, so we keep those records confidential. Let's see, allowed or expected to make corrections. Yeah, so in the accreditation process, I mean, we don't expect anybody to be perfect in this thing. I think I mentioned at the you know, when we go out and do an assessment, yeah, it's kind of expected that there's going to be some corrections on this thing, that not everything is going to be perfect. So don't worry about that. I already mentioned it's a confidential process. Yeah, so the MBCA has some templates. I mean, and a number of their members are already accredited, people like Dan and others on the call. Now, these are your peers, and they're happy to help you out. So, I mean, when you got somebody you can call up and run stuff by, I mean, you don't have to reinvent the wheel and everything. So that should be a huge relief to everybody on the call or anybody that seeks accreditation. MBCA is a great resource for you in that respect. And then also, you know, the assessors that we send out, I mean, I don't want this to come across as a negative term, but they're not building inspectors. And I shouldn't say that because IS is owned by ICC, which all their members are building inspectors. But, you know, our assessors, they're not policemen, they're not inspectors, they're not out to get you. No, we want you to succeed. So yeah, we're gonna do a good assessment. And if we find things, we find things. But you know, those are things that can be fixed. So I think that one thing that everyone always finds is our assessors are friendly. They want to help. We cannot consult, so we're not going to come in there and tell you, oh, here's exactly what you need to do in order to pass this thing. Because an accreditation bodies don't do that. We don't teach you to pass a test necessarily, but there's a lot of good resources again, like the MBCEA, your peers. We give you a copy of the accreditation criteria. We also have a webinar that we do from time to time, which we include. We have one of our assessors on the webinar. Or we have someone like Dan or somebody else that's gotten accredited, and we go through what, you know, kind of the overall process for getting accredited. There is a lot of good information for you. And of course, my last, I think, point there is that, again, MBCA helps with the process, so rely on them. I think that may be the last, yeah, that's my last slide there. And yeah, so at this point, so Dan, did I miss anything that we normally cover or go over?
No, you did a good job. Thanks, Greg. Really what we'd like to do is open it up. Before I do open up for questions, I gotta say, I'm working off my laptop here, and I missed some of the people in the call that I didn't intend to do that. I don't really want to go through introductions more here just because of basis of time, but I do see you all now, and I'm sorry I missed you. It would be nice if you could put your name in the chat. And also with this is that we know you're on, and we are going to move into Q&A with Greg. And if anybody has a question, let's see here. The best thing to do, because I do have some limited space on this, usually I'd just have you raise your hand. How about this? Is just go ahead and unmute and ask if you got any questions. Let's just do that. Does anybody have any questions for Greg?
No questions from me.
While I'm at it, Dan, there's Lori Rain, Dan, and a few you know her already, but yeah, she's also available if you have any questions along the way or want to send an email or need something.
I do have a question, Eric Majors with Klaus Construction. Are there a certain amount of CECs that are required to maintain?
So CECs are continuous ag credits?
Yes.
So that is not for the program that we have here. And I don't know if you're specifically asking about the stuff that IAS does for AIA and others. That they do put on some informational type seminars that provide credits for those that are in AIA that are trying to look for credits. There is no CECs or anything like that are required as part of the accreditation program as AC478.
Yeah, I think the AIA they call them learning units, LUs, and yeah, they do have a specific number. I can't remember. I think it may be 10 a year that they require for membership. And our program's like one hour, so it's a minimal amount, but it helps.
No, that was my question was with the AC 478. If I have other licenses that require me to have to maintain them annually.
No, so for the accreditation, there is no requirements for learning units. The learning units that are involved are all for the AIA type stuff or for architects. Because the program is assessed every year, that is where all your focus needs to be, is just pushing back to getting ready for your assessment.
And that answered my second question. That was, obviously the fee is an annual, and then I was curious if the assessment was annual. And your on-site assessment does means and methods and safety.
Do you want to answer that, Greg, or you want me to?
I mean, go ahead, Dan. I mean, yes, the assessment definitely is an annual thing. Yes, it is. So
as far as the on-site assessment, there's a list of on-site requirements, but essentially there's some methodology that you're doing according to manufacturer's instructions that is looked at. But the big thing is that you have your program is in use on site. So when you have as part of your accreditation, you have your own management system and you have your own program. Now, MBCA does have templates, and we encourage you to take a look at those and make them as close to that as possible because we know it works. But the big thing is that you are using your on-site guys are working in accordance with your program. So you do what you say you're going to do. Your program is what you're saying, and your on-site efforts are doing what you say you're going to do. Does that make sense?
Somewhat. I guess we're a Butler doer since '75. We do our own self-performing. Roughly, at our peak, we're at about 100 employees. There we go.
Yeah.
Somebody was sharing something.
That was Jackie. It disappeared.
You're muted still.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I was going to mention the AC478 criteria is on the website, so you can definitely look at what she's showing you there.
Okay.
I pulled it back down because I thought I was sharing my wrong screen.
Thanks, Jackie.
But going back to the templates, where exactly is that again?
So Sasha's going to explain that here in a minute. She'll show you how to get to these resources. Good question. Hold on to that for a minute because Sasha was going to go through it anyway. We'll get to that. So hold on here.
I've got a question. We're based out of Canada, so we have a quality program and everything, but it's all referencing our governing bodies. Is that going to be a problem to the side? Like, will that be harder for you guys to
You have to pay that.
No, no,
to
not at all.
audit? Sorry.
No, not at all. We accredit companies in 65 countries. Not all for this program in all 65 countries, but yeah, we're all over the place.
That's
Good,
the
thanks.
international part of the
Yeah, yeah.
IAS. Yeah.
I know you're referencing a lot of American stuff, so I just none of it's like even OSHA is not on our. We have our own health and safety and everything, right? So.
And you know, we just so you're aware that it's fine to have that. A lot of the states here in the U.S. actually have their own programs, and they're not under OSHA either. So it's referenced OSHA, but it's really the regulatory body for safety and health.
Okay. Thanks.
So I've got a
the
question.
guidelines, I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is Chad with LaFever. I'm literally about to hit or get everything submitted today. What kind of timeline are we looking at to get audited? Because I know you guys were backed up at the end of the year.
Yeah, we were backed up. I mean, I think the most important thing is that you've got a project that's going up. You know, that's the important thing. And I think I also mentioned that we can do the virtual assessment right away of your quality materials, which only takes a few hours. So I would think that we could get that at least scheduled within, say, 2 to 3 weeks. Now, the on-site assessment may be more, maybe a month to get that going, just because we may have other people that are in line ahead of you. But things are, I guess, they coming into line more in the schedule now. And for those of you that didn't know, we had a couple of our assessors leave. Actually, I think like 3 of our assessors had health issues or retired, that sort of thing. So we're getting back up on track.
Okay, and is it a issue where the project is? We've got projects kind of all over the nation.
No, that doesn't. But I mean, you know, if you've got different projects that are available to us, that'd be great if you could share that with the assessor when they contact you. That way we'd have the choice, you know, to go to either location.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Eric, I
Chad,
think you had another question. Oh, go ahead, Jackie.
I was just going to add that I'm thrilled that Greg said a couple of weeks, but I normally suggest that you assume like 90 days from the time you hit the button before your electronic review at least is done. You know, you guys are busy as well as the assessor. So like, don't expect that, you know, Monday you're getting a call back. And then, like Greg said, if you share that you have projects going on in, you know, these 5 locations, it'll help the assessor plan his schedule where he can say, oh, I have to have another job to do in that state as well, so I can try and get them both done at the same time. So that's always helpful, Chad.
Okay, thank you.
Jackie, I mean, that has been a problem in the past when we tried to do assessments. We'll call and try and schedule one, and somebody doesn't have a building going up, and we'll call again in 3 weeks or a month later and still don't have a building going up. So that can be a problem.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be our problem. We have multiple go up, and a lot of them are quick, 2 weeks, 3 weeks duration.
Great.
So we'll have one. We just don't know exactly where it's going to be
Great.
at the time. So we'll have to coordinate.
Perfect.
Any other questions for Greg? So what we'll do is Sasha's going to show us a few things with the our available resources, and then we will continue with some Q&A if there's some other questions that come out of that. So as we're going through Sasha's stuff here, if some other questions come up, or even other questions for Greg or for myself or other accredited members here that are part of the accreditation committee, just hold on to those for a minute, and then we'll go back to Q&A again. Thank you. Sasha?
Thanks, Dan. Yep. So this is the homepage. If you haven't been there before, shame on you. But nbcea.org is where you want to go. Most of you should have an account now. If you didn't have an account when you signed up or registered for the roundtable, I did go in and create an account for you. So you should have gotten an email. You need that account in order to access the members only resources. So once you sign into your account here, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this, your member compass. And then you're going to click on the member resources, click here to access. And when you do, it's going to take you to this page, the members only resources. So we talked about documents and templates down at the bottom under this accordion. Some of these will be open, some of these will be closed. So if you're not seeing what you're looking for, make sure you open all the accordions to look to find what you're looking for. But documents and templates was one of the things that was mentioned as far as a lot of samples that other members have provided. Some of them relevant to AC 478, some of this relevant to running your business in general. So that's a page that you want to absolutely go through. But getting back up to the top of the resources is the AC 478 accreditation. So let me just go back one. At the top, AC 478, when you click on accreditation resources, you're going to land on this page. And this is where we encourage all of you to start. So anyone that hasn't done anything yet, start here. Go through all of these. This one even says everything you need to know. So it's a no-brainer. You also have Jackie's email address here, jmaluda@mbcea.org. And Jackie can drop that in the chat as well. Start by contacting her. And she can speak a little more to that as to why you should. So these are great resources for you when you're going through the process. There's a lot of links on the public-facing AC 478 page as well that you may want to look at, and that's under About AC 478 accreditation, and there's layers in there. Some of the other items, the marketing that we have that Greg discussed, the for contractors and erectors is for you, so you can see what benefits you gain from accreditation. And then resources when you are accredited to share with building officials and to share with architects. The presentation that he told you about, the AC 472 and AC 478 accreditation AIA presentation that you are able to present to architects, can be found here. And we even have a link to the recorded webinar so you can see how it is presented. So that's all there in the marketing. And so some other things that we have for you in the members area as well. Under architect resources, we have other AIA presentations that the MBMA allows MBCEA members to present. Just metal buildings in general. So, as you're meeting with architects, speaking to them about metal buildings, accreditation, it all goes together. You have a bunch of resources for lunch and learns. Some of the things that we do for you to help increase your visibility and market yourself is we do put together a draft press release for you once you are accredited. You can edit that, send it out. We send it out to our outlets for you and share it back with you so you can share it out as well. You may have seen when you visited the member directory that not all listings look alike. Accredited members get featured listings, so they will always show up first on the member directory page, and more information will be displayed, like organization overview. If you've got social media feeds, some people have a gallery of pictures and videos. So I encourage you to really take advantage of that visibility in the member directory, being that featured listing. Also, back on the homepage, as you scroll down, we do have all of the accredited members' logos that scroll across the homepage. So that's just a few of the things that we do to help market accredited members. And at the conference, we have an exclusive AC 478 cocktail hour. And so that's also a fun event and time to get together and share your thoughts. So those are the things I wanted to share with you about resources. Any questions from me about anything on the website?
Okay, thanks, Sasha. So, any further questions for Sasha or for Greg, myself? Go ahead and speak up. I got a few more comments to make before we kind of wrap things up too, but if you have some questions, it's a good time to throw them
Eric,
up.
with Klaus Construction, just a kind of a general question. We run an apprenticeship program here through NCCER for iron workers. There is sections of their training that does cover pre-engineered metal buildings. You guys doing anything with NCCER?
Yeah, Jackie, do you want to speak to that?
Certainly. So two ways of answering that, Eric. Hopefully one of them satisfies you. We're in the midst of what's probably like a 4-year plan. I think we're in year 2 or year 3 to create a complete curriculum from start to finish for the metal building industry with NCCER. That's a $1 million project that the MBCEA is spearheading with their sister organization, the Metal Building Institute, and will be administered through the NCCER. So that's stay tuned, soon to happen. But what I think maybe more specific to your question is AC478 requires you to have a documented training program. It only mandates, if that's the right word, 2 things. Well, 3 things. One, that you have OSHA 10 for employees that have more than a year of experience, a year of with you, year of longevity. That you integrate the MBI Quality and Craftsmanship Training Series into your training program, and that your program is robust enough that ultimately 25% of your workforce achieve the status of a journey worker. And we define what a journey worker is for metal building assembly. So if you're already using training from the iron workers or from NCCER, and you build that into your training program, that's your documented training program that you will be held accountable for. Dan said that earlier, that they're going to verify that you do what you say you do. So you document your training program however you think it is appropriate for your company, as long as it has those couple of elements in it. And then that's what your company is held accountable for. Are you doing what you say you do? Did that make sense?
And it was a 2-part question, and you asked the second part first, because I did in dealing with NCCER, I did see that they were working on a pre-engineered metal building curriculum along with Pearson's. So no, that's good to know. And yes, it's like I said, we run a 3-year ironworkers journeyman program here, just because that is pretty much basically the only thing that's out there that we can actually get them as a journeyman then.
Thanks for the question. Is there any other questions?
If there's no questions, or while you think about your questions, I just want to do a plug for me. It seems like there are new names on the call today, and that you're not that familiar with the criteria. An easy way to dip your toe in outside of this roundtable is to schedule a session with me. We plan for maybe 45 minutes. You can have as many of your people on the call as you want, and we'll go through the criteria, what it actually means for your company. If there's a requirement for a document, I take you right over to the MBCEA website and show you where a template for that is. Now, you might have your own version, but I show you what's available to you, and we just go through it line item by line item, basically. So my my email and phone number are in the chat.
Thanks, Jackie. That was really my final comments that I want to make is, as Greg mentioned in his notes there on his slides, and I think it's been said here, but getting started is always the biggest issue in this program. And I think there's in the introductions, one had said that they've been looking at it for quite some time and it's difficult to get started. And we recognize that. That's been, we've had, I don't know how many of these roundtables, probably a dozen anyway. And that's always been the comments have come back as it's just so hard to get started. And there's a couple of things that we've recognized that where the pain points are. One is just knowing what you don't know. I mean, it's always difficult, and that's where Jackie's here to help. We always recommend that's your first step is talk to Jackie. Makes your life so much easier going that direction. She can help get yourself aimed in the right direction so much better than you can yourself when you've never done it before. And she's gone through quite a few people helping them get started. So that's a great resource. The other thing is just simply that is it's so easy to overthink it. It's fairly common that people want to take a look at all their processes in their company and think they need to all be revamped and like a fresh start. And it's a good opportunity to do a fresh start for sure. I recognize that that's the temptation. But a lot of times you have 90% of this stuff in your organization. Everybody has a safety program. Everybody has some of the stuff that's necessary. Yeah, there's some stuff that needs to be refined a little bit, but if you try to get too in depth and build into something that is basically it stops you from doing anything and you still end up with what you had, you're so much better off to just take baby steps into it. And yes, we can do this. We can get started. We can take what we have. We could submit this. We can refine it as we go along. It is an improvement program. Yes, you will get assessed on what you have, and you'll find out there's pieces that aren't really up to par. You have correction ability to these pieces, and most of the time it's not that huge of a step to do. So I guess what I'm trying to do is encourage you to take what you have. Well, first talk to Jackie, but take what you have, consolidate it into a program or into your program and submit it and get started. And that's where the pieces are that for what you have is enough to really be assessed. So there's a few pieces that you might not have, and Jackie can help you understand what those are. But I guess hopefully what I'm trying to portray to you, and if you can understand it from this standpoint, is don't try to make it perfect. You'll struggle with it and end up just not going anywhere with it. So on that, Jackie.
Hey, Dan, since we have just a few minutes left, I would like for the accredited companies that are on the call to just unmute and give us 30 seconds to a minute as to why they pursued it and what benefits they feel that they have gotten.
Sure. That'd be great. How about Art?
This is like those procedures you get every few years. The anticipation is much worse than the actual procedure. It really does go smoother. You just got to dig in and do it. And for us, we've gotten jobs because we have AC478. You got to jump in, and when you're all done, you say, "Man, that wasn't as bad as I thought."
How about next, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with the company 4 weeks now, so I can't speak to why Dean would have done it, but I mean, would imagine that we use it in our marketing. That's could be a leg up right on our competition. When we talk to prospective clients, we talk about our accreditation. So it serves many different purposes. So it's I think prestigious to be part of that group.
Yeah. Thanks. Joe Ellen?
Yeah, we went to do it. How many years has it been now? How many years has it existed? 7, 8 years, something like that.
Getting close to 10 already.
Oh my God. Yeah, time's flying when you're having fun, right? But it helped me greatly to streamline some of the paperwork and procedures that we put in. And it is a living thing, which is important because not everything goes perfect. Your business changes year over year. and constantly reassessing it to see where you need to make improvements is helpful beyond the advertising, beyond the rest of that stuff. As your company grows and changes, to have those procedures in place and be able to, schedule the rest of your team to get together and see what you can do better next year. That is the benefit for us.
Thanks, Joe. I don't know if I'm seeing everybody, but David Thay, do you want to pitch in?
I got Joe, your very first press release.
What year was that? 2015?
Mm-hmm. Well, this was 2016 in January, but yeah.
So 10.
And I was so young back then.
David, are you still on the call? How about Jared Turner?
Yeah, I could jump in. We've been accredited for a year and a half-ish. Last year, I've kind of, like Carrie's on the call with me, we're kind of re-upping again for our second year. And it's helped us just to have a safety policy and procedures with a couple of projects where it's just everything's all in one spot. So it's really easy to send that stuff into GCs and to clients to like let them know that, we are as good as I say we are when I'm talking to them in the sales meetings, But really, it's a continuous improvement thing that just kind of helps us, put some paperwork and some weight behind, doing things the right way.
Sasha, did I miss anybody?
Nope, that's it. And well, did you say anything about yourself, Dan?
Yeah, it's been 7 or 8 years for us too, and it like Art said, we've got projects because of our accreditation. It's helped us internally to strengthen our company, or a much better organized company. Because of it, we can feel better about going into projects, especially bigger projects, complex projects and whatnot. We just know that we have some confidence, at least for me, for the owner of the company, to know that, yeah, we can do this. We've got the pieces in place to do it right, be safe. So.
Absolutely. And I think it's important that everyone on the call who is potentially looking for assistance or interested in it and has any other questions, all of these people that are accredited that are on this roundtable, they are happy to speak with you and answer any of your questions. So please feel free to reach out to any of them, and they would be happy to talk about their experience with you.
Okay. Well, one last chance at Q&A. If anybody has a question they've been sitting on burning to ask, go ahead. Now's the time. Joe, are you asking a question? I hear.
Not me, no.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. We'll be having another one in a couple of months. So if you're still got questions and you want to ask them there, first go to Jackie. But if you would want to have another chance to sit through a roundtable, we'll have one in a couple of months. So
thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.